Christmas is a really special time, isn't it, Dorothy?
Yes, it is, Captain Feathersword. Every Christmas, we remember the birth of a tiny baby whose name was Jesus. He was born in a stable in a little town called Bethlehem, a long way from here.
In a stable? You mean where farm animals are kept? Oh, why was he born there?
Mary, his mother, and her husband Joseph had just arrived in Bethlehem, and they tried to get a room somewhere. But wherever they went, it was the same answer. All the rooms were full. Then a kind innkeeper said that although there was no room in his inn, they could stay in his stable.
Is Jesus the same as the Christ child?
Exactly the same. Sometimes he is called Jesus, and sometimes Christ, and sometimes Jesus Christ.
Ooh, was he a rich man?
No, he wasn't. His father was a carpenter, and Jesus learnt to be a carpenter too. But he grew up to be a great teacher who believed in love and kindness. He thought there should be peace on earth, and he wanted people to care about each other.
What else did he say?
He thought that children were important and that people should look after them. He believed that people should share with each other and not be greedy, and he didn't like people to be angry with each other.
It sounds as if Jesus had some good ideas. Woo-hoo!
He did, Captain Feathersword, and although he was born over 2,000 years ago, we still celebrate his birthday, and we remember his message of love and peace.
You know, Dorothy, I'm glad the Wiggles are able to help the little fairy. She did look beautiful on the Christmas tree, but I don't really know why we have a Christmas tree. Do you?
I do, Captain. Christmas trees were popular in Germany as far back as 700 AD. That's 1,300 years ago. And when German people moved to other countries in Europe and to America, they took their ideas with them, and now Christmas trees are an important part of Christmas all over the world.
Did they always have fairies on top?
No, they didn't. At first they were decorated with candles and cakes tied with ribbon, but just over 100 years ago, special Christmas ornaments were made and people thought they looked so pretty that they began to make them or buy them to hang on their Christmas trees. And now we have shining balls and glittering tinsel and stars and bells and special Christmas tree lights. And sometimes they have a star on top, and sometimes a fairy, just like the Wiggles had on their tree. Some people have a tiny tree, and some have a big one, and in many cities there are huge Christmas trees out in the open where everyone can see them. Sometimes people leave presents under those big trees for people who need help and who otherwise might not get any presents at all.
Oh, could I have a Christmas tree on the good ship Feathersword?
Of course you could. Christmas trees are part of Christmas, and anyone can have one.
Oh, I like the present the Wiggles gave me at Christmas, but I never really understood why we give each other presents at Christmas. Oh.
It all goes back to the time when Jesus was born. 3 kings from other lands heard of his birth and followed a star all the way to Bethlehem so they could see this new baby, because they knew that one day he would be a great teacher.
Wow, they were very clever to be able to follow a star.
They were, and they're also known as the 3 wise men. When they reached Bethlehem, they found the stable and the Christ child who was asleep in a manger.
Ooh, what's a manger?
It's the box where the food for the animals is kept, and the manger in the stable where Jesus was born was just the right size for a little baby. It was filled with soft dry grass, and the baby was quite comfortable there. The three kings, who had come such a long way to see Jesus, knelt before him and gave him their gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
I know what gold is, but I'm not sure about frankincense and myrrh. Ooh.
Frankincense is a sort of perfume, and myrrh is a beautifully fragrant oil. The three kings wanted to give the baby Jesus special gifts, and now we give gifts at Christmas. They don't have to be expensive gifts. Gifts chosen and given with love are the best gifts of all, and they help us remember the gifts that the three kings gave to the Christ child all those years ago.
Christmas Day is the 25th of December, isn't it?
That's when we celebrate Christmas, and so do lots of other people, although in some countries, like Russia and Greece, Christmas Day is celebrated in January.
But isn't Christmas Day Jesus' birthday?
Yes, it is. But we don't really know the exact date because in those far-off days, people didn't take too much notice of the actual date that someone was born. So the people in Europe who followed the teachings of Christ decided that midwinter would be a good time to celebrate Christmas. And we keep the same time, even though it's midsummer here. In Europe and in North America, people might be able to ski or skate or build snowmen at Christmas, while people in Australia and New Zealand might swim or go to the beach because for them, Christmas is part of the summer holidays.
Ooh, so now I understand why some Christmas stories and pictures are about cold, snowy weather. It's because some people live in countries where Christmas is cold.
That's right. But no matter what the date, the country or the season, Christmas is a time when friends and family get together.
Oh, hello, Dorothy. Ooh, you've got a lot of Christmas cards on your mantelpiece. Who are they all from?
They're from my friends. This one is from the Wiggles, and this one is from Henry, and this one is from Wags the dog. And this is from you, Captain. And these are from some other friends of mine.
Oh, I love getting Christmas cards. I hang them up all over the good ship Feathersword. I've often wondered why we send each other Christmas cards. Oh, you know a lot about Christmas, Dorothy. Do you know why we send our friends Christmas cards?
It's an old custom, Captain. People have been sending each other Christmas cards for over 150 years. When people were first able to send letters by post, they thought it would be a good idea to use the postal service to send special Christmas greetings to their friends. It was such a good idea that more and more people did it, and now Christmas time is very, very busy for the people who deliver our mail. It's nice to get a Christmas card from a friend you haven't seen for a while, but it's just as nice to get one from a friend you see every day. I like to look at pictures on my cards. There's one of the three kings coming to see the baby Jesus. And there's one with a picture of the star they followed. And here is a card with some fluffy little kittens. And here's Santa Claus. And I like this one because it has roses on it. Did you know there is a Christmas rose?
Ooh, no I didn't. What's it like?
It's a small white rose tipped with pink, and it's called the Christmas rose because it blooms in midwinter, in the snow, and you know that it is midwinter at Christmas time in many countries. There is even a little story about the Christmas rose. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, indeed I would, Dorothy.
Well, when Jesus was born, a little shepherdess wanted to see this baby that the shepherds had told her about. She wanted to take him a present, but she had nothing. Just then, she looked down at the snowy ground and saw some little flowers, white and pink, as I told you, peeping through the snow. So she picked some for the baby, That flower is called the Christmas rose.
Oh, that's a lovely story, Dorothy. And the card with the roses on it is very pretty. But do you know my favorite? It's the one with the 3 ships sailing by. Oh, it reminds me of the happy Christmases I've had on board the good ship Feathersword. Whoa!
It's nearly Christmas, the busiest time of the year for Santa Claus, as he gets ready to deliver toys to all the children.
Oh, I hope he brings me a brand new Feathersword, and maybe a nice new pirate hat too.
I'm sure Father Christmas won't forget you, Captain Feathersword.
A minute ago you talked about Santa Claus, and now you're talking about Father Christmas. Oh, I don't understand.
It's the same person, Captain Feathersword. Mostly, we think of him as a fat, jolly man wearing a red suit with white fur.
And he has a red fur-trimmed cap, and a big white beard and black boots.
That's right. And the Santa Claus we know now was based on a man who lived many hundreds of years ago in the country we now know as Turkey. He liked to help people by giving them gifts, but he didn't want them to find out who he was that helped them.
Was his name Santa Claus too?
No, it was St. Nicholas.
Well, then, where does the name Santa Claus come from?
Well, in another country again, St. Nicholas was called Santa Claus, and that gradually got changed to Santa Claus. In some countries, it is still St. Nicholas who brings children presents, and he wears a crown and a beautiful cloak.
Oh, I see. So he has 3 names. Santa Claus, Father Christmas, and Saint Nicholas.
He has lots of names. It all depends where you are. He is called Kris Kringle, or Papa Noel, or Jewel Mandan, or Chriskind, or Old Man Christmas. Ever so many names. But no matter where they are or what they call him, children look forward to his visit.
I saw 3 ships go sailing by, sailing by, sailing by. I saw 3 ships go sailing by on Christmas Day in the morning. Oh, you know, Dorothy, I think that is my favorite Christmas song.
There are a lot of great songs about Christmas, aren't there? I really like the Christmas carols, the songs about the story of Jesus' birth. And of course, we sing them everywhere, not only in churches.
Oh, I do enjoy carol singing. Away in a Manger, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, The First Noel, Silent Night. Oh, I like them all. Hark the herald angels sing, newborn. Oh, so people have been singing Christmas carols for a very long time.
They have. Once wandering groups of singers would travel from one village to another, singing carols for the people, and often they would visit big castles too and sing there. Today, people still go around the streets on Christmas Eve singing carols.
Oh, I love it when you and I and Henry and Wags and the Wiggles sing carols at the Carols by Candlelight concerts. Oh, shiver me timbers, it's exciting to be up there on stage, looking out at all of those people holding candles and hearing them sing along with us. But we don't only sing carols, do we?
No, because there are lots of Christmas songs that aren't carols. Just songs about Christmas, like Jingle Bells and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And Santa Claus is coming to town? Oh, I love my pirate songs, but I think I like Christmas songs and Christmas carols best of all. I know people in different countries do different things at Christmas. Can you tell me about that, Dorothy?
Well, you already know that Christmas in Australia comes in summertime. So people in Australia are likely to be outdoors, maybe having picnics or swimming and surfing. Once, I saw Santa Claus coming into a beach in a surfboat. In lots of places, there are lights and decorations in the streets and in the shops. Right up near the North Pole, people make Christmas sculptures out of coloured ice. In London, England, a child is lifted up on an enormous crane to switch on the lights on the big Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square. The big Christmas tree in New York is next to an ice rink, and people skate around under the beautiful tree. When St. Nicholas brings presents to children in Holland, he has a helper called Black Peter who carries a stick and a big sack. St. Nicholas is kind, but Black Peter can be a scary person. In Sweden, a gnome called Joltumton comes down from the mountain, but he wears a red suit and has a sack full of toys, just like the Santa Claus we know about. In some countries, it is the three kings who bring the presents, and in both Italy and Russia, there are Christmas stories about an old woman who brings the gifts. She saw the three kings on their way to Bethlehem, but didn't go with them, and now she wanders the country looking for the baby and giving gifts wherever she goes.
One of these days I'm gonna swim around the world and see all of those different ways of celebrating Christmas for myself. Woohoo!